All right, so today we're taking a deep dive into Culture of Peace Nederland. We've got some interesting stuff from their website, so let's just jump right in. You with me?
Absolutely. Sounds fascinating. I'm ready to dive in.
Well, the first thing that caught my eye was how they tied into International Day of Peace, which was back on September 21st.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it marked a kind of revival for this whole global UNESCO movement for a culture of peace. It all started way back in 2000.
Wow. 2000, that's a pretty long history.
It is, yeah.
And it goes even deeper than that. There was a whole international decade dedicated to, get this, a culture of peace and nonviolence for the children of the world.
Really?
Yeah, from 2000 to 2010. So, this isn't some recent fad.
No kidding.
This has been building for a while now, globally.
That's pretty incredible.
It is. It is.
So where does Culture of Peace Nederland fit into all of this?
Well, they're taking this global movement and really bringing it to life in Amsterdam. Their website is awesome. It clearly lays out their mission, right up front.
Oh.
Cultivating a culture of peace.
I like that. Straight to the point.
Yeah, and their call to action is, let's create it. So it's very proactive. It seems very community-driven.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Let's create it. It definitely caught my attention, too. I mean, they're not just talking about peace. They're actively encouraging people to be a part of it, to build it.
Exactly, yeah. And they're really focusing on Amsterdam, using the city as this platform to connect residents and get them working together on, art and cultural projects.
Okay, interesting. Speaking of art and culture, I noticed this line on their website. Together we can not only enjoy art and culture, but also strengthen the bonds within society. I mean, how do you see that connection?
Well, I think it comes down to the power of art, to really transcend differences. Art can evoke empathy, it can help us see the world through different lenses.
Yeah.
And it can just spark conversations that might not happen otherwise.
It's true.
So when people, share those experiences, it creates this sense of understanding, connection, and it strengthens the community as a whole.
Yeah, it's like art becomes this common language that anyone can speak, no matter their background or their beliefs, right?
Exactly, exactly. And Culture of Peace Nederland is using that language to build those bridges and promote understanding in Amsterdam. And they're also very clear about the link between a culture of peace and, human rights and democracy.
Right.
They actually quote directly from the UN's Declaration and Program of Action for a Culture of Peace.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, emphasizing how those elements are essential for building peace within and between nations.
So it's not just this isolated idea of peace.
Not at all, no.
It's really tied into these larger foundational values.
It's a very holistic approach. And if you really dig into their definition of culture of peace, it's even more clear. They talk about rejecting violence, preventing conflict by addressing those root causes, and fostering dialogue and collaboration. It's about building a society that respects those differences and resolves conflict peacefully.
Wow, it sounds like they've really put a lot of thought into this.
They have.
It's not just throwing around buzzwords.
No.
It's really a deep understanding of what a culture of peace really means and how to, work towards it.
Exactly, exactly. And, they see themselves as part of this, global movement spearheaded by UNESCO, which has been a driving force behind this whole Culture of Peace initiative for decades now.
So they're taking this grand vision of a more peaceful world and, making it tangible, making it real in Amsterdam.
Yeah, and they're doing it by empowering the community to get involved. Remember, their motto is, let's create it,
Right. Yeah.
They're facilitating, not dictating.
That's a great point. All right, so we've got a good sense of who they are and what they stand for, but how do they actually put these ideas into action? What are they doing on the ground in Amsterdam?
That's a great question, and it's one we're going to explore further as we continue our deep dive into their work.
Okay, so we know that Culture of Peace Nederland is all about getting people together to make a more peaceful Amsterdam. But where are they actually doing this? I saw on their website they highlight this area called Stadsdelen, which I guess means districts.
Yeah, Stadsdelen, yeah, that's districts.
Okay, and within those districts, they really seem to focus on Stadsdeel Zuid, the South District.
That's right, yeah. That seems to be a main area for them.
Okay, any idea why they're focusing on that particular district?
Well, they don't exactly say on the website.
Okay.
But we can maybe make some guesses, based on what we know about how they do things.
Right.
They're big on community engagement, working together. So it would make sense if they chose an area where those things are really, really important.
So maybe Stadsdeel Zuid is like a super diverse area, and it's really important to, build bridges between different communities there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good thought. Or, maybe they've found some great partners in that district, organizations or people who are really passionate about what they're doing.
Right, so they're being strategic, finding the best places
Yeah.
to plant those seeds of peace.
Exactly. Exactly. And, if they're successful in Stadsdeel Zuid, it could, spread,
Right.
inspire other districts and, maybe even create a citywide movement.
Like a ripple effect.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Now, their website also has a whole section just about community. What's that all about?
Well, it seems to be the place where they, really try to connect with people. It's like a platform to connect Amsterdam residents and get them talking about, collaborating on local art and cultural projects.
So it's not just Culture Peace Nederland, like leading the way.
No, no.
It's more about getting the residents to take charge.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's about, giving them ownership, encouraging them to bring their own ideas and energy to the table.
I like that. So it's that let's create it philosophy again.
Exactly. It's all about shared responsibility, for building this culture of peace. And they even have a newsletter, so people can stay informed and connected.
Smart. That's a great way to keep people engaged and build that network of people who are like actively working towards peace.
Right. Yeah, yeah. And they're really good about connecting their work to the bigger picture, to the global movement for a culture of peace.
Okay.
Especially the UN's Declaration and Program of Action. They see themselves as, a part of something much bigger.
So they're taking those global ideas and putting them into practice, like right there in Amsterdam.
Exactly. They're making it real.
Ah.
And they're inviting everyone to join them. Let's create it.
Yeah.
It's about collective action. That's at the heart of it all.
Right, right. Okay, so we're getting a good idea of how they work within the community, but what does that actually look like in practice? Like, what are some projects they're working on?
That's the big question. And their website doesn't really give specific examples.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
But maybe we can speculate a little, put on our detective hats.
Yeah, I like that. Let's do it.
All right, detective hats on.
Yeah.
Let's try and imagine what kind of projects Culture of Peace Nederland might be doing.
Well, we know they're all about using art and culture to build peace, especially in Stadsdeel Zuid. So, imagine like community mural projects, residents from all different backgrounds coming together to paint their vision of a peaceful neighborhood.
Oh, I love that. It's like taking those shared values and turning them into something real, something everyone can see and be a part of.
Exactly. Or maybe they're doing like theater workshops.
How interesting.
Yeah, where people can, explore conflict resolution through role-playing and storytelling.
Yeah, that's a great way to see things from a different perspective.
Right. And practice empathy.
And we can't forget music. I mean, music brings people together like nothing else.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe they're doing like community concerts or jam sessions.
Yeah.
Connecting through that universal language.
Love it. Or, even workshops where people can learn instruments from different cultures.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, appreciate the diversity, break down those barriers.
So many possibilities. When you think about how art can be used to promote peace.
And don't forget, their whole thing is empowering the community. Let's create it. So maybe they're like giving grants or resources to local artists and organizations that are already doing this kind of work.
Makes sense. They're like facilitators, creating the space for these peace-building initiatives to grow.
Exactly. And by connecting those local efforts to the global movement, it's all part of a bigger picture. Those ripples we were talking about, spreading out and making a real impact.
This has been so interesting, even without knowing all the specifics of their projects. We've learned about their mission, their values, their whole approach to peace building in Amsterdam.
And I think their website does a fantastic job of showing who they are and what they're all about. They're really dedicated to making the world a more peaceful place, starting right there in their community.
And maybe someone listening will be inspired to create their own project or initiative, to promote peace in their own community.
That would be amazing. Imagine if everyone took that "let's create it" idea to heart.
What a great thought. So, if you're feeling inspired, we encourage you to go check out Culture of Peace Netherlands' website and learn more. You might even find yourself wanting to get involved.
Absolutely. And remember, building a culture of peace, it starts with each of us. It's about understanding, respect, and working together.
Well said. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. We hope you learned something new and that you're feeling inspired to create a more peaceful world right where you are.